Toyota's all-new Fortuner is coming this Tivoli to stake its claim as king of its class. We get behind the wheel to see if it's still worthy of the crown. Pay attention. Listen carefully and you'll find that most cars talk to you. No, I don't mean the voice of the lady that calls out directions or the one that reads your short messages to you when your phone's hooked up. What I'm on about are the little subliminal messages almost all cars seem to put out. They tell you how comfortable they feel at high speeds, how happy they are bouncing over a poorly surfaced road, or just how much effort they are putting in to deliver performance. No, you don't need to drop down into a zen-like state and lower your heartbeat to pick up these messages and, of course, the car doesn't actually speak to you either, but what you do tend to get, if you are really listening, is loads and loads of information. Problem is, the information I'm currently getting from the new Fortuner is all but unbelievable. I've just run it hard across a set of deep ruts, thrown it nonchalantly down a rocky riverbed and even thrashed it across an abandoned construction site, but instead of complaining or threatening to disgorge some of its wheels, it seems to actually enjoy the beating in an almost sadomasochistic way. Far from screaming stop, 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 this SUV seems to want more. More? More? Well, take this, I say to myself, guiding it up a steep path, the initial bit threatening to twist the chassis like it is made of cardboard. And still, it's unfazed, no creaks, no groans, no snapping welds, not even a hint of flex. What has Toyota put into the new Fortuner's ladder frame? Yes, I know it's shared with the new generation Hilux pickup that has a reputation of being near indestructible, but this level of chassis stiffness is like nothing I've experienced before. Not only has Toyota seriously beefed up the ladder frame by reinforcing the side rails and adding new, stout across members, there are also reinforced suspension towers and large diameter dampers, all here to allow it to take a hammering without so much as blinking. For overall chassis stiffness, brute strength and robustness, there aren't too many SUVs out there like it. This Fortuner is an all-new car, but Toyota has chosen to go with a near-identical wheelbase at 2,745 mm. But this new SUV is longer, wider and slightly lower than the version currently sold here in India, which puts this new car at an advantage when it comes to cabin space and comfort. To begin with, once seated inside, I find there's more width in this new car. The cabin feels much airier and less constrained and the all-round visibility is improved as well. The slightly slimmed down and more space-efficient seats at the front also happen to be particularly comfortable. Perfect for large frames, they offer great shoulder, back and thigh support, and what's neat is that they are well bolstered too, so you don't get chucked from side to side. I step back to the second row, or should I say step up. The presence of the chassis means there is a big step up and won't be to everyone's liking, and there's plenty of room here too. You can now seat 3 abreast on the rear bench in a bit more comfort. The center passenger gets a seatbelt suspended from the roof, and unlike many SUVs, you aren't sat too low either. Even thigh support is good here. Those of you who want to be chauffeured around will love this. Also improved is space and comfort on the third row. These +2 seats, we like to refer to them as 5+2 as against a full 7 seats, may still be for children or short drives only, but getting into the back and getting settled here isn't nearly as irksome as some of the competition. And the seats aren't totally unusable either. You also get a rear air-con system with dedicated blowers in the roof, and there are other practical bits like cup holders and power sockets. There's even a bit of usable luggage space in the rear with all 3 rows up, and if you need additional space, the third row seats fold up to the sides as well, giving you more luggage space. As on the Ford Endeavour, you even get a powered tailgate. Up front, the cabin looks much more attractive than the outgoing car. There's a real sense of style here. The collared center console with its leather-lined and chromed oversides looks fabulous, and the large touchscreen in the center only adds to the overall appeal. What also works well is the instrument panel with the info screen in the center of two very legible white-on-black dials. Very similar to the one on the Innova, it hits the spot, and the nicely finished steering wheel adds considerably to the more upmarket interior too. There are, however, plenty of not so well finished plastic bits on the inside, and these spoil the ambience of the cabin a bit. The glove boxes feel cheaply put together, the fake wood near the gear lever is very plasticky, and the door pads aren't all that special either. Still, the cabin is quite practical, with plenty of space to store things like bottles, phones and other odds and ends, and you do get the convenience of keyless go and a start-stop button as well. Technical specifications. Price range, in lakhs. Ex-showroom price, Rs 28-30 lakh, estimated. Engine. Fuel, diesel. Type, 4 cylinders, 2393 cc, turbo diesel. Power, 149.6 horsepower at 3,400 revolutions per minute. Torque, 400.1 Newton meters at 1,600 to 2,000 revolutions per minute. Transmission. Type, 6-speed auto. Dimensions. Length, 4,795 millimeters. Width, 1,855 millimeters. Height, 1,835 millimeters. Wheelbase, 2,745 millimeters. Chassis and body. Weight, 265/65 R17. Suspension. Front, independent, double wishbone, coil spring. Rear, anti-roll bar, 4-link, coil spring. The new diesel engine also spins smoothly to 3,000 revolutions per minute, with a linear increase in power and torque, which makes the new Fortuner shift quite smartly. In fact, the engine pulls pretty well till around 3,800 revolutions per minute, but demanding more power and performance after that comes with a few penalties. The motor strains hard, gets quite vocal, and performance isn't very strong either. And what's not nice is that the din gets louder still as you approach 4,500 revolutions per minute. So, while I find that driving the Fortuner 2.4 in city traffic is quite effortless, and cruising on open highways even at relatively high speeds is easily manageable, overtaking, even in fast-flowing traffic, is a bit of a chore. You have to plan your moves well in advance. You have to be patient, and if the car in question decides it doesn't want to be overtaken, you could be in for a bit of a dice. As on the Innova, there are 3 driving modes: Eco, Normal, and Power, and for faster traffic, it's best to use Power. That significantly improves the amount of grunt you have at lower and medium engine speeds. Thankfully, we'll also get the more powerful 177 horsepower 2.8-liter diesel in India, and performance with that engine will be much stronger. It has 27 horsepower more power and a lot more torque, so it should be much quicker and, importantly, more effortless. Toyota will launch the 2.4-liter version too at a later stage, but we suggest you only look at it if you are chauffeur-driven. For more updates, subscribe Moto Guru.